Hi guys, welcome back to Tactical Insights. The topic of this video, as you can tell, is open carry. Now, based on kind of a lot of the legal things that are happening today and a lot of the issues that are out there, open carry has become a pretty controversial issue. Minus the 9mm versus .45 argument, the open carry argument in the gun world is a pretty big deal. Let me be clear. This video is not about the legality of open carry, okay? Every state has different laws. Iowa, where I'm at, for example, your permit to carry weapons covers concealed or open carry. Some states allow open carry, do not allow concealed. Some states have concealed, no open carry. I'm not here to discuss the legality of open carry. I am going to say some things that'll probably tick you off a little bit if you're an open carry advocate. I'm not an anti-open carry, and you'll understand where I'm coming from very shortly. To be open and honest and perfectly clear, I am a full-time police officer on the side, and you may pick some of that up as we go through here and we start talking about some response to this. I understand that some of the issues that I have with this are based on what my full-time position is as well. Number one, I firmly believe with everything that's in me that it should be your legal right to open carry if you choose to do so. Having said that, there are a lot of things in the world that are legal rights. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. We have lots of legal rights. It is perfectly legal for me to kick the front door in on your house. Wow, you say. You mean as a police officer? You mean as a citizen? Because people start getting jumpy about getting their doors kicked in, right? But what is the issue with whether or not it's legal or not for me to do so? It's intent. If I'm a civilian, I can kick the door on your house tomorrow. What is my intent? Is your house on fire and I'm trying to get you and your kids out? Or am I in there trying to steal your TV? The intent plus the action determines whether or not it's a legal action or not. Legal is up in the air based on intent. And when we talk about open carry today, we're going to talk a lot about intent. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. We have to look at two things when we look at open carry. There's two big issues with open carry: the practical side and the political side. So the practical side, it's all about intent. What is your intent practically for open carry? Is it self-defense or is it because I can? If you have decided that self-defense is my practical reason for open carry, then let's look at that. It is my opinion that if you have chosen to open carry for self-defense, you've chosen one of the most inefficient and tactically unsound methods of self-defense. This isn't Dodge City. You're not Wyatt Earp. The quick draw, I'm going to take down Wild Bill Hickok, didn't really happen in the 1800s. Certainly isn't happening today. You're not going to get called out to the high noon at the street and have to have your 1911 strapped on your hip in order to defend yourself. For me personally, the first time I want the bad guy to know that I'm armed is when everything goes black and I win. This is basic anti-terrorism level 101, guys. This is what operators are taught. This is what cops are taught. This is what soldiers are taught. The guys that are actually dealing with real world bad guys are taught this. Anti-terrorism 101 says you are the perfect victim until you act. I don't want to give my position away until I'm ready to do something about it. Everybody in the world is playing poker. Some people have a great hand. Some people got kind of a bad hand. Some people are bluffing. And the open carry guy is the only one at the table with his cards face up. Something to think about. When you choose to open carry for self-defense, you're playing poker with your cards face up. If you're doing it because self-defense wise you think, well, it's a deterrent, it makes me look tough. Afraid not, guys. I hate to break it to you. Open carrying is all about intent. Intent of you open carrying simply because you think that makes you better for self-defense is just tactically unsound. I tell the story of standing in a Walmart behind a guy at the counter and I put my finger on his Glock 19. I know it was a Glock 19 because he was open carrying it. Put the finger right on it, took a picture of it. I know there's several other people that have done this as well. Open carrying for self-defense, the practicality is limited and in my opinion almost non-existent in the real world. So if we're not doing it for self-defense, let's go back to because I can. The exercise of a right means that I have that right, correct? But does it? What is your intent carrying politically? You notice I keep going back to a single word, intent. I'm going to read the definition of intent to you because this is vitally important that you get this. I wouldn't have this discussion with non-gun people. This is an open discussion between pro-Second Amendment, pro-gun people, but let's look practically and realistically at what we're dealing with. The intent means the determination to perform a particular act or to act in a particular manner for a specific reason, an aim or a design, a resolution to use a certain means to reach an end. That is your intent. Okay? Because I can does not meet that. Intent is your mental attitude with which your individual, in which you act. Your mental attitude that goes with your action that you're doing. Because it's a mental attitude, I can't tell your intent, right? You can't tell my intent. The only thing we can do is infer the intent based on surrounding facts and circumstances. And we infer that intent. Now, because I can is a motive. That's a justification. That's what prompts you to act or fail to act. It's not your intent, it's your justification. So what is your intent? I understand your justification is because I can. What is your intent? Here's what I get. When I watch these videos of these guys that are going out here and they strap an AR-15 across their back, their buddies running a video camera, and they go walk up and down the street hoping to get stopped by police in order to get videos that they can post, cops violating my rights, blah, blah, blah. They love to do this. We see them all the time. I refuse to even watch them anymore because I know they're an absolute joke. They're setting the whole thing up and they're killing the cause of the Second Amendment doing so. So here's what I see. These guys go out. They choose to strap an AR-15 across their back, walk down the street where everybody's out here. Soccer mom's taking her kids. Mom's going over here to the restaurant. Family's driving by, going to the store. And they choose that I'm going to come out here and open carry because I can. So obviously, because those people don't know their intent either, all they can do is infer from the surrounding circumstances and facts, this guy, what is he doing, right? They've thought about Aurora, Colorado. Boy, I wish somebody'd stopped that guy before he walked in. They talk about Sandy Hook. I wish somebody tried to figure out his intent before he got in the door. They're inferring from their knowledge of facts and circumstances, and they call the police, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Now the police officer shows up. And here we go. Let the games begin, right? Because now, concealed open carry guy wants to say, I'm going to tell you my justification, but I'm going to refuse to reveal my intent. Oh, they don't say that out loud, but this is exactly what they do. My justification is because I can. Have I committed any crimes? Have I done this? I'm within my legal rights. Here's all the justifications in the world and refuse to reveal their intent. Now, what is the job of that police officer? What is his job to those people that called? What is the responsibility he has to all the businesses around here? It's to come find out what your intent is. He wants to determine your intent. Instead, all he gets is, I refuse to give you the intent, I'm just going to give you justifications. So now the officer cannot do his job, can't meet his responsibility, and he has to infer based on surrounding facts. What is your intent? Now, if you're standing at a Second Amendment rally on the courthouse steps and there's 300 people with AR-15s across their back, what can he infer from that? He can infer that, hey, this is a rally for pro-open carry, pro-Second Amendment. There's 300 guys with AR-15s. I'm pretty sure I know what his intent is based on the surrounding facts and the circumstances. What if you're standing in Starbucks in Miami, Florida? What if you're in the McDonald's in Des Moines, Iowa? What if you're walking down a 4-lane highway in Portland, Oregon? What is he supposed to infer from that? Obviously, he's looking at surrounding facts and incidents, trying to infer what your intent is. So, if we expect him to infer our intent by refusing to tell him what the intent is, what is your intent? Is it to annoy? Is it to harass? Is it to cause disruption? Is it to terrorize by the legal sense of the word? Is it to cause a scene? Is it to scare that lady with her kids in the van? Yeah, she might be a liberal voter. She might be a who knows what. Is it your intent to scare her? It's time to start looking at our intent, especially for us gun people. If your intent is wrong, you'll know. And I know you'll know because when the officer asks you, what is your intent? You'll refuse to give it to him. Instead, you'll demand to give justification because I can. If you won't give an intent as to what you're really doing, could be that your intent is wrong. Let's be realistic, guys. We are trying to help the cause of the Second Amendment, not hurt the cause of the Second Amendment. If your intent is wrong, you're hurting the cause of the Second Amendment. Let's look at the intent. That intent, the circumstances and surrounding facts, I understand that it's based on culture. Okay, certain places it's perfectly normal. In Wyoming, open carry is common. The officers in Wyoming also understand it's common. People in that culture expect that. That is part of those surrounding facts and circumstances. Walmart in Des Moines, Iowa, Starbucks in Miami, Florida, doesn't meet that culture. If you're not willing to honestly look at what your intent is with open carry, I question whether or not you should be open carrying at all. If you have that intent, if you just want to go out and you want to harass and annoy people, knock it off. Get back to Call of Duty, do whatever you got to do, but knock it off. Agree? Disagree? Like the video? Leave us a comment. We'd love to discuss this. Be respectful about it. We'll certainly debate whatever you want to. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn. Hit us up, share the video, share the video, share the video. We'll see you next time.